about DoorDash. Okay, so she is the perfect case study. It has never been easier to start YouTube and actually get a fighting chance at getting some of the YouTube pie. Okay, so it's not a joke. This woman, if you don't know who she is, where have you been? You've been sleeping under a rock, hiding under a rock. You're going to want to go to her page and check her out. It's DoorDash. Okay, so this woman, she literally is showing her entire journey of how she has officially become monetized on YouTube. And the thing is, all she did was talk about her journey doing DoorDash. Okay, and the reason why I've been talking about it is because she's a beautiful case study as to what it can mean for you in starting your YouTube. So I wanted to give you guys an update of where I think I might be like, I might end up just like being like a commentator of her journey or something. I don't know, but I am so fascinated with her journey because as somebody who loves watching YouTube and loves watching people's stories and journeys and watching people's channels blow up, not necessarily because I know that, especially the people that, you know, they were down bad, right? Like they were struggling with money financially. They were just going through it, right? And all of a sudden they get monetized after 5 years of consistency, after 4 years of consistency, right? And I just love seeing that. But it's not really about the money. It's just, I love seeing the whole unfolding of it. Like, it's just so fascinating how people keep going. So, okay, she's been posting some videos between yesterday and today. And I just thought she made such an amazing point. And okay, first of all, let me rewind. There is so many videos now talking about DoorDash. Like, I will have so many people like, DoorDash this, DoorDash is doing that, DoorDash is taking over YouTube, DoorDash is an overnight success, DoorDash da. And it's specifically because I think that she's just fascinating to everybody and she really has cracked the code. So she was talking on live today and she's showed her monetary update of how much she's made so far this month. And I really feel like that's very, very vulnerable, right? Like, finances is obviously something that's very personal. It's obviously something that you want to, you know, keep a healthy privacy on. But she is just feeling called to disclose it all, bear it all, and just be super authentic and forthcoming with how much money she's making. So in her last video so far for October, she's made $7,000 in ad revenue, and October's not even over yet. So last month she posted that she made $6,000, and then this month so far, and there's another week left, she made $7,000. So she might even be on her way to $8,000 or $9,000 this month. And again, this woman was grinding, busting her butt, okay, every single day. She said she would work, and you could tell because she would post about, you know, she would post about her journey. She was working 10-hour days, 11-hour days, 13-hour days, and she was just like, you know what, I love that I was, you know, giving people a fighting chance to, you know, have some kind of income coming in between jobs, or if they want a side income or a side hustle. But she's like, I knew I wasn't going to do DoorDash forever. And she's like, I just felt called to like uplift people and give people joy and just like pour into people and love on people. And she did that for 4 years before getting monetized. So she was in her car, just like I am right now, riding around town, dropping off meals to people. And sometimes the people would be rude. People would be just real, like having an attitude. And then she would just like talk about her journey with that. So now she's like, look, like, I've been encouraging people to start YouTube because she's obviously a good case study. If you just go for it, it may not happen overnight, but it's like, what happened if she never turned on the camera 4 years ago, right? And now she's on this whole journey. So she's like, if you don't feel like doing your makeup, if you don't, like, I was going through this and sometimes still go through it. And this is a big thing for women especially, but I think that it is time for women to kind of shake out of it and just kind of get out of our own way with this. Men don't have this issue as much, maybe if they don't have a haircut or something, or like their beard isn't lined up or something. But she was like, there's been so many people that I'm like trying to, you know, get them to start their YouTube, and they're like, well, no, I got to get my hair done. I got to put on my makeup. I got to do this. I got to do that. And I really wish this wasn't as like, my last camera holder wasn't this movable. But it's not movable on my end, but for you guys, I can tell that it's like really jittery. So what she was telling this woman was like, it doesn't matter. Like, people want to see real now. Like, there's so many overly curated, unbelievably gorgeous pictures on the internet, especially on Instagram. And it's like, we get it. You're a 100 out of 100. You're a 10 out of 10. You've had all this plastic surgery. We get it. You're gorgeous. You're hot. Da, da, da. But like, people are craving just that good old authentic feeling of like that neighborhood person or that person that you grew up with, or when you bump into somebody at the grocery store and you both don't have any makeup on, and it's like people are craving the realness. And she is a perfect example of somebody that just got out of her own way. She's like, I wanted to do lifestyle content, like, and have my hair done, because she lost 100 pounds while doing DoorDash. So she talks about that whole journey. And she's like, I wanted to do lifestyle content and health content and, be all done up. And she's like, I just didn't have time. She's like, I was literally working 14-hour days, 6 days a week, 7 days a week sometimes. And again, she's not lying, because she would show it. She was on the internet showing it. And, she was very vulnerable about talking about how broke she was, how, she don't have no money. She's barely trying to, she said she would pay her rent on the 16th and 17th of every month. I don't even know if you could do that in California. I think you'd be on the street if you tried to do that. So she is like just bearing it all, spilling it all, and then showing everything on the back end. And so her latest update today was that people are just in their own way. And I totally agree. I went through that. I started posting on YouTube consistently probably about 2 to 3 years ago. And I did the same thing as her. I just started pushing on when I was in the car. And then now I, have the opportunity to get badges and to get super chats and to get like gifts on my page, and I can add my Shopify store, which is cool. And it's like, imagine if I just kept getting in my own way and saying, well, my hair needs to be done. I need to not always be in the car, or I need to and something just was like, turn on the camera and start talking. And same thing with her. And it's like, now she's monetized, and now she's making all those funds. And for her, she literally, it's not like she has like other things going on. She's like, I was literally doing DoorDash, and now I just quit 4 weeks ago to now do YouTube full time. And I just want to love on you guys and pour into you guys and encourage you guys to do the same. And arguably, this is kind of like my prediction. These YouTube channels, if you do them consistently over time, within 3 to 5 years, when they become monetized, they essentially become an opportunity for people to get their families out of generational debt. Like, it is creating generational wealth, because it's a vehicle. Like, we think like, okay, well, YouTube, I'm already too late, or it's overly saturated, or all that. But like, literally, no, it's not. It's not overly saturated, because you're not overly saturated, because no one's seen you on live yet, or you haven't blown up yet. And not everybody wants to blow up. They just want to impact people. So if you impact 1,000 people, if you impact 1 million people, it doesn't really matter. I think for the everyday person, and for some of us that have that yearning to just want to help and uplift people and pour love and light and all that into people, it kind of just doesn't matter the number of people you pour into. It just matters that you are impacting people in some capacity. So if you do that over time, I mean, you could be the best car salesman, you could be the best, like, I don't know, mechanic, you could be the best cookie maker, like, and just turn on the camera and talk about it with your natural hair, your natural eyes, your natural face. And I really do think it's sad, because I actually thought about it. We've all fallen into it to a degree. I know I have, where like, okay, this is what's interesting. People they're too nervous to start YouTube. But then, like, say you go to your job and you don't really wear a lot of makeup and your hair is up in a bun and you just wear kind of like, work clothes, and there's hundreds of people. Like, let's say you work at like a decently sized office where there's like several tens of people or hundreds of people. Well, people are looking at you, right? People see you. People are seeing your face, seeing your body. But then for some reason, it's okay to be out in the real world, where like, if you're at the grocery store, people can see you. If you're at the movie theater, if you're at the skating ring, if you're at a lounge, well, usually if you're at a lounge, you're probably more dressed up. But if you're at some of these places, you know, these normal everyday places like the gas station that I'm driving by, people see you, but then for some reason we don't want people to see us on the internet like that. It's almost like something about the internet has like made us unconfident in ourselves to some degree, because we're willing to go to a family function, go to the park, looking like you're like, let's just say your 10 out of 10 self is like hair super done, nails super done, makeup super done, your best outfit on, all that. Well, most of us aren't walking around like that every day. Some people, it's their job to do that, but because we see people on TV like that, like news anchors, right? They're always done. Or if you look at The Real or The View or some of these talk shows, they're done, right? So we think, well, if we're on the internet, we have to be done. But like, no, we don't. We don't have to be done. We don't have to be done. As long as you just look like a kind human being with a welcoming spirit. I mean, people are craving that. So I had to talk myself out of that 3 years ago. I just was like, why is it that I'm okay to run into people in LA where it's arguably has some of the most beautiful people on the planet? So I'm okay to for people to see me when I'm at the gym in person, but then like, I don't want to press on the internet. It's kind of the same thing. Like, and then you only get, especially if you're a small YouTuber, you only get about 75 views anyway, which is equivalent to the same amount of people, the person that saw you at the front desk, the person that saw you in the locker room, the person that saw you on the workout machine, the person that saw you at the grocery store, the cash register person. Like, all these people are seeing you. So what's the difference? There's no difference. Now, if you're trying to like if you're a beauty blogger, okay, yeah, that's a different standard. If you are a lifestyle, like fashion blogger, it makes sense why you'd always want to be in dope fashion, right? Because that's what you're encouraging. But for the rest of us that are doing like life coaching content, uplifting content, life, self-development content, fitness content, nutrition content, like, we don't need to be super dolled up. And so she was just going hard on that. And she was in her car again with no makeup on, her hair pulled back with like a headband on. And I believe she wears glasses sometimes in some of her videos. And she's just like, look, like, I'm showing you guys my YouTube check. This is all I'm doing. And I really feel like this style of content could end up getting overly saturated in a year from now. This is just my opinion. I don't know. Because now there's people now I'm seeing other people being like, I started my YouTube because of DoorDash. I started my YouTube because of DoorDash. And so you might want to hop on the train. If you haven't started one yet, you might want to hop on the train and just rip the Band-Aid off. And while her page is like trending of being real and authentic, you might want to just say, hey, DoorDash, like, people are like, I love it. People are like, DoorDash made me do it. Like, I just think that's so cool. Like, that she's literally has moved people to the point of actually turning the camera on. Okay, so what else was she updating on that I thought was super fascinating? Again, like, you don't have to be somebody that bears it all or tells all of your business. And she definitely is very forthcoming. Like, she even has a video on like a potential like STD that she almost encountered on her page. Like, you don't have to necessarily be that vulnerable and that forthcoming with things about your life, but that's her, right? Like, she's just like, I'm bearing it all. I'm doing all of that. So, what I love is that she's just, it's like this new wave of like, almost like AI authenticity or something. Like, there's like just this new appetite, this new craving. And so if you are feeling like, okay, I'm seeing this girl, Ciana, talk about this DoorDash woman. She's telling me to start a YouTube. I'm not really convinced. If you're not convinced, go over to DoorDash, because I really think long-term, think like generational wealth. Think when you're retired. Think if you're retired and you're watching this, you're sitting on a gold mine. You're literally sitting on a gold mine, because you can literally just go and post a video a day, a natural, authentic video about what you learned about life, being 60 and up and retired, And those pages actually blow up pretty quickly because you can't beat experience. You can't beat wisdom, right? Like you can't beat that. So, I looked at my analytics. I do have some people that are 50 and up that are watching my page. And I'm like, I hope every single one of you have some kind of YouTube channel, and you could have a podcast YouTube. So you can just have a YouTube where you don't show your face. It's just you talking. You could even do stock footage of just an image. You could just have an image sitting up, or like just some image, like video of whatever, of just some pleasant looking video footage, and then you talking with no one ever. You don't even have to ever show your face, and you're just dropping knowledge, dropping gems on people. So that's like what I think is so powerful, and I think that she really does have a beautiful blueprint on how to do it. And when I'm telling you, I'm like, she is better than me. I mean, she's like in her bathroom washing her face. Her hair is like literally like out, like, us women, like, our hair is like our glory, and we don't really want to be seen. Some of us could even like be seen with no makeup, but like if our hair is not done, it's like, ooh, she's like hair not done. She's brushing her teeth. Like she's doing the raw and uncut. And if you're willing to do that, I mean, there is evidence that kind of page is blowing up. It's blowing up. And when you have your YouTube channel up and running, I don't know if she has any children, but she literally just set her children up for the rest of their life. Literally. Like if she has children and they're like young, like 10 and under, or I mean, really, it doesn't even matter, even if they're adults. I don't think she has any children, or she hasn't brought up any children, but she's already monetized now. Imagine 20 years from now, right? Say she wants to retire from the channel or have a faceless channel. She could literally donate that channel to her children, and they just keep the channel going. Boom, there's generational wealth. Like, what if this whole time, especially for Black people, like, what if this whole time, like, we're begging the government for reparations, but what if this could be like a version of reparations? I mean, that's a stretch, but while we're waiting for reparations, why not start a YouTube channel and set your future children up for success? If you don't plan on having children, or you don't want children, or for some reason, God has you on another path and you're not able to have children, pass it along to an adopted child, pass it along to your nieces, your nephews, right? Set yourself up for success for the rest of your life, and then pass it along and have it stay just in the family tree, right? Like inside the family. I don't think we've really talked about that yet. We haven't really talked about the fact that YouTube videos are literally, it's like a stock portfolio, essentially. It's literally like an investing account. Literally. So it's time. Like, it doesn't matter. And you know what? Okay, I was going to talk about this on another video, which I will, but I'm going to touch on it a little bit right now. If I could go back in time, I would have started a YouTube channel while I was doing a 9-to-5. I was very, very sleep on the opportunity that you can have having a 9-to-5 and having a YouTube channel. Because if I would have done that, I could have just transitioned so easily into just like, once I was completely full-time on YouTube, I could have just transitioned out of my 9-to-5 super calmly. But I like ripped the Band-Aid and I went into hustle mode and had to go through this whole journey of 8 years of just like all over the place. And it was fun. And I have hundreds of thousands of stories that I can uplift people with, because I quit my job, had no plan of action. I just was like, I hate it that much, I'm quitting. I picked a date and I quit. I do not think that everybody should do that. You definitely have to have a certain level of grit, a certain level of resilience, and like a little bit of craziness to do that. And I did that, and it was not an easy journey. And it was very, I had many sad days, had many bad days. But then I had some exhilarating days. I had epic days. I had adventurous days. I had fun days, in that journey. But when I quit 8 years ago, it was wild. So people are now also, there's a whole wave of people that are 9-to-5ers that are doing YouTube. Because if you're working 9-to-5, there's something that you're doing obviously every day. So then you can add value. So same with DoorDash. She was doing DoorDash for 10 to 14 hours a day. So she's like, while she's doing DoorDash, she's talking about her journey with that, and then also talking about whatever else she wants to talk about. So if you have a 9-to-5, I actually believe YouTube is for the 9-to-5er. Like, YouTube is the perfect side hustle because you don't have to worry about where your bills are going to be, like how your bills are going to be paid. You can comfortably just know your bills are going to be paid and then post 2 videos a week. If you posted 2 videos a week, that's 104 videos a year. So there's 52 weeks in a year. If you post 1 video a week, that's 52 videos up and going. And if you post 2 videos a week, that's 104 videos. In 1 year, you could have that many videos popped up. 10-minute videos. Do 104 10-minute videos twice a week. Pop your phone up. Like, and then in 3 years' time, you'll probably be monetized. It could be sooner for some people. Some people do, you know, God has a calling on their life, or they get graced with being able to get monetized sooner, and then they go full time and they transition comfortably. Like, it could be the new retirement plan. Some of us, like millennials, we don't know if we're going to have the Social Security. People can't even survive off of Social Security right now. I know individuals in my life that are they are not surviving off of just their Social Security. And if you don't have any money saved up and you don't have family, you have no money saved up and you don't have family, right now you would have to move into a government type of living and literally live off of like the skin of your teeth, especially in LA. Not everybody lives in LA, I get it, but like, it's not a joke. So being a millennial, if you're a millennial and under, we don't know if we're going to have what we're going to have for Social Security in our 60s. And if you fell into hard times, or you just weren't smart with saving money, or you didn't know how, or you never took the time, or you were used to seeing, you know, living paycheck to paycheck. And then you get to your 60s and you think that you're going to live off of the Social Security like your grandma was able to. Highly unlikely with where we're going. So arguably, YouTube could be the new retirement plan. Right? So that's what I want to drive home. I really do hope that this little, I'm calling it, I think I'm going to make because I think this is my 3rd or 4th live on her at this point, and I'm just so fascinated. So I feel like I'm going to do an updated report on her as we go along. But because I've been an avid YouTube watcher for about a solid 11 years. Like that, like I've been watching YouTube more than Netflix, more than anything else, like more than cable. I go to YouTube first, and if nothing's really grabbed my attention, then I would go to something else, like another platform, but YouTube. And so I've seen people that are on all these major podcasts and are in movies now and all that. I've seen them start with like such a small channel 10 years ago. And I just love seeing the journey. Like, it's just so thrilling to see that for some reason, more so than like a movie in the movie theater. I like seeing real people, like, just, it's like a real life movie. That's what YouTube is. It's like watching people's real life movie. And she's probably the most fascinating, like probably in my top 3 people that I've come across seeing their journey. And she's at like 45,000 subscribers right now. So it's not like she's at 1 million yet, but like, if she keeps going and she's just stays true to herself, stays true to her formula, which is, there's no formula. It's just, it's her literally being herself. I would not be surprised if she got to 1 million subscribers within a year. And I'm not even kidding. Like, that would be my prediction. In 1 year, she has the ability to get there with just her true self. And I think that she actually is given people a reason to really want to try, because it is intimidating. YouTube is intimidating. There's all these people that have all this perceived knowledge, that have all this video editing and gear and lighting. And, you know, some people, it's like they have pretty privilege, right? Or some people have popular privilege. Some people might have they're rich. So, you know, maybe they come from, you know, very well-off parents. So they have time to just be on YouTube all day. Like, there's just so many competitive advantages out there. And it can feel like, you know, where can I even fit in? But she is just so true and authentic, and not leading with anything beauty-wise or sexual-wise or showing her body or nothing like that. She's just literally talking about her life. And I'm like, wow, she literally cracked the code. So I'm going to start a playlist, and it's going to say, I don't know what I'll name it. Maybe you guys can tell me what I should name it, but it might just be DoorDash case study or something like that. Case study of DoorDash. YouTube case study DoorDash. Something like that, where it's just, we're going to be looking at her page like it's an experiment, like it's a science experiment, and it's a study, and we're going to be breaking down the different variables. That's how I'm going to approach it. So I'm really excited to keep watching her. Like, every time I see her pop up, I'm like, ooh, okay, what new little just like thing can I get away from this, or strategy can I collect from this and share it with my viewers that have been wanting to, because I will get people on because my page is about health, fitness, mindfulness, and beauty. I do talk about God and my journey with that as well. And then I kind of interweave health, fitness, and mindfulness with some of my vlogs. Like, you'll see me do LA vlog. I live in LA, so that's a big part of my health, fitness, and mindfulness and beauty journey, is because I'm in Los Angeles. So I'll do vlogs and show you guys kind of some of my life with the vlogs. And like, so you would think like, well, Ciana, why are you encouraging other people to start so much? Because I will get comments in my comments like several times. It'll say, hey, I really wish I could start my YouTube channel, or I want to start a YouTube channel, or, you know, you're encouraging me to start one, but I'm not sure. Like, from several people over the last 3 years, I always get at least 3 to 5 people a week that comment on one of my videos. Like, it might be an old video that they comment on. And I'm just like, maybe I'll intertwine that within self-development on my page, as far as like just ripping the Band-Aid off and just getting out of your own way and really digging into why that is. Like, what is it? So for me, and I'll be very honest and transparent, I'm used to, like, especially living in LA, you know, hair done, makeup done. You know, when you go places and you're going to be seeing places, you want to be done, right? Not at the grocery store or the gym, but, you know, if you're like out and about and you're like going to events or places, you want to be done. So I'm like, well, what if somebody sees me that's like, what if, I'm just going to be real honest. I used to think, what if someone sees me that's used to seeing me when I'm super dolled up, like when I go to events in LA? Like, they don't live in my area, so maybe I don't run into them at the gym or at the gas station or at the grocery store. And they only see me when I go to these gala events or these luncheons or these golf tournament events, or, you know, I just went to this VOOV event, right? This cricket event. And I was just like, what if someone sees me and they're like, oh, that's what she really looks like? Like, ooh, you know, like. So then what I did was, I just was like, you know what? Yeah, I can tell that you're here in LA. Oh, you can? So I was like, you know what? I need to do some self-growth. And I just need to rip the Band-Aid off and just be comfortable with people seeing me with natural hair, no makeup, and a sports bra on, or like, you know, my sweatshirt on going to the gym. Like, it was like like, I did it on purpose to like, just like shake myself out of kind of like the, what would I call it? Like, I don't know, just like this weird false expectation that society has put on us, especially women, or I might have put on myself, or I felt like I had to live up to, right? I just was like, I don't even care. Like, if somebody sees me that is used to seeing me with my hair done and my makeup super done, professionally done, and I have this like ball gown looking dress on, like, I don't dress like, I'm at an event, so of course I'm going to be dressed like that, but I don't dress like that every day. I'm usually, to be honest, my go-to is, I mean, now these days is, there's a fire truck coming. Okay, they're turning up there. So now these days, just my hair natural, and I just will do like mascara, eyeliner, and like my lip liner and lip gloss. I've been even wearing like less makeup on my face. Like, and then I'll just wear like a cotton dress or like a spandex like type of material, like long dress or crop top dress or just something cool, casual. I love wearing sweats. You know, I love actually, if I could, I would probably live in activewear, fitness wear, but I'm like, okay, I can switch it up sometimes, Ciana, like, come on. But you'll see me, a lot of my old videos, I'm in fitness gear. I'm in a sports bra, like on the way. And I'm like, this is me. Like, I'm a sporty, active, like natural, flowy, hair flowy LA girl. Like, so I'm just going to be that. And I feel 10 times better now that I've overcome that. That was about 2.5 years ago that I was kind of like overcoming that journey. And now that I'm on the other side of it, I just feel free. Like, I just feel like, you know, sometimes I'm going to feel like my version of 10, and sometimes I'm going to feel like my version of a 5, but I might have something on my heart that I want to talk about. So I'm not going to not share it, because God can have placed something on my heart. And you know, have you ever gone through this where God placed something on your heart and then you didn't write it down, and then you should have told somebody, or you should have done a video on it, or you should have posted it on your story on, you know, your Instagram, or just something. You should have done something with that desire, like that calling, that information, that idea, and then you don't, and then you forget it. And you're like, oh my God, that was so juicy, that was so good, but I didn't like just stop and write it down, or I didn't stop and just do the live video. So that's why a lot of times I'll just randomly go live. It's I'm gonna try to announce it more, but it's just not how I roll. But I am like, sometimes I know, okay, well, in 30 minutes I'm gonna go live. So I'm gonna try to get in the habit of like announcing it on my community tab. Or if you're signed up with my email list, sign up with my email list. And number one, okay, there's just so much. I've been trying to hunt down Donnell Connor, if you're watching, because I'm trying to give you this beautiful, amazing massager that you won from my channel, but you haven't responded. So the time is actually up now. I sent out several emails. So I'm actually going to be giving away this really dope massager that I use all the time for like your back. And especially if some of us are sitting all day, it's like really good for like the back and the upper shoulders. So I'm going to be picking a new winner for that. So I give away free stuff, and I'll be announcing when I have like a new video, or if you want to catch something on the replay, or if I'm going live. So you're going to want to make sure to sign up with my email list. As soon as I post this video, I'll have my email list ready to go for you to sign up with. So there's that. But so let's see. Okay, there was just so many things I want to talk about like at the same time. Like, it's almost like sometimes I wish I had like 8 heads to be able to just say all of it at once. But yeah, I will have gotten like a inspired action to talk about something, and then I'm like, well, I don't look cute enough, or my face looks puffy, or I have a breakout. I'm like, I have acne right there or something. And then when I just started to just press live, I just was like, I don't even care. Like, and then people run into me, you know, at the gym, and they're not like running away from me, right? They're not like running away. So like, I'm obviously not scary. So I think a lot of us are just too hard on ourselves, you know, with these expectations of being perfect and fitting into this box and being airbrush looking all the time. And sometimes we might be able to look like that. Some weeks are going to be good weeks for us. Some weeks, you know, maybe where our face looks inflamed. I know I definitely go through that. Like, I can tell if I had too much sugar or I had too many carbs, like my face will start to get really puffy. But then sometimes I've just still gone on live, and I'm like, God has put this on my heart. And then sometimes those are the videos that will like get like a little pop, because they're not really paying attention to how I look. It's like how I made them feel with me speaking from my heart. So all of us have that gift to some degree, to some capacity. And then we're not pressing on because we are in our own way, because of these weird expectations that, you know, Instagram and social media and just the world has put on us. And it's still something we all struggle with. I'm not sitting here saying that I don't go through those days. You know, I definitely still go through those days, but you know, now I've worked up a muscle where I'm just like, it's fine, Ciana, it is what it is. Like, if somebody doesn't want to follow you because they don't think you're they're like, oh my God, her face isn't done, her makeup isn't on, her hair looks a mess, like, then don't follow me. You know what I'm saying? Like it just doesn't matter. So, you know, I want to really encourage you with that. And check out DoorDash. Tap in with her. Follow. You know, it's almost like I want, like, oh, are they leaving? You guys already know how it is in LA. When you see a spot, you gotta get on it. Yes, haha, a spot. Ha 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 ha. Babe, take a deep breath. We aren't going anywhere. I know, I talk so fast. And I get so excited. But I need to slow down. I do, you're right. I need to slow down and relax for a second. Okay. I'm so happy I got such a close spot. In LA, it's like, you gotta get on it because people will be super aggressive and just like honk, and then you're trying to get in the spot, and then it's like busy, and then you're trying to do a parallel park. Like right now, I'm trying to do a parallel park, and it's just like, it's on a busy, like, it's not super, super busy, but it's a busier street than normal. But you gotta like get in the spot to show like, I'm getting in this spot, but then you can't really get in it like you should get in it, because you have to like kind of take dominion over the spot first. People in LA know what I'm talking about. Like usually what I would have done is pulled up correctly next to the car in front of me right now, and then swooped in and was all booms, just did a nice swoop in. Oh, and the guy in front of me is leaving. That's perfect actually, because then I can kind of get in this spot a little bit better. But then sometimes you can't do it like that. Sometimes you gotta get in real messy, because like it's just, you gotta get the spot. You just gotta get the spot. You gotta do what you gotta do. It's like survival of the fittest with the parking spots in LA. It's not true. I'm actually a really good parallel parker. And the reason why is specifically because of LA. But I definitely wasn't for many years. And then I like had to get good, because you'll get a ticket, number one, or you'll get your car hit if you don't park in well. And sometimes you're on a time crunch. Like it's just a lot. So let me actually just scroll up really quick. There might have been some questions that I missed. Thanks for the compliments. Okay. Oh, you've been watching her too, Hallie? Did she pop up on your page, or did you find out about her through me? I'm just curious. DoorDash in YouTube. Okay, just reading some of your guys' comments. I appreciate the compliments. It's all planned to not be able to retire or live. Yeah, I mean, it's wild. I'm just gonna say that. Like some of the people that I'm seeing that are old enough to take advantage of their Social Security, it's like it's actually heartbreaking and devastating, because if it wasn't for family and close friends and community, this person would not be able to survive. Like, and it just has really touched my soul, and has been very eye-opening. And my own grandmother wasn't able to survive off of Social Security, and my grandmother lived paycheck to paycheck. She was from the South, or well, her mom, my great grandmother, is from the South, and I have a point to this story, so just bear with me for a second. She's from the South, and moved to LA when my grandmother was 1 year old. So my grandma is from LA. She grew up in LA, from the projects, and there was no discussion. I mean, she was alive during Jim Crow laws. Like, there was no discussion about financial literacy or portfolios or saving for retirement. Actually, it was kind of like, why would I pay for a life insurance policy? Like, I don't have $30 a month to be paying for that. Like, so there's just I have actually other videos on that whole journey, but very eye-opening, very eye-opening. So when my grandmother was at retirement age, she just was like, okay, Social Security time, like perfect. And if it wasn't for her children, she wouldn't have been able to necessarily survive. She would have been in like a really bad area, living off of section, you know, I don't want to just, this is no like offense to anybody, but like in LA, maybe they're nicer in other cities in the country, but in LA, like usually those areas are very, very, they're not the safest places. And so my grandmother would have had to live in that. And she didn't have to because, you know, she had my mom and my uncle and my aunt to, you know, help take care of her. But if she didn't have that, so I just think of all the other people that are 60 and up that just didn't have the opportunity to save, didn't have the education to save, didn't have the financial literacy, like whatever. There's so many different reasons. And, you know, now, I don't know, they're just having to live off the skin of their teeth and having to maybe move out of a nicer area to, you know, downgrade their lifestyle. So it has like, it has instilled, I'm like, okay, if my great grandparents could hop on trains and figure out how to make it in LA, and then my grandma was able to survive. Okay, my grandma, my grandfather were able to survive in LA during the Watts riots and all that, and then raise their children. And then, you know, now my mom, right? And I'm just like, it's supposed to get, we're supposed to, they went through all that for me to be able to pick up the baton and like take it to the next level. So that's why I'm making it a big point to become financially literate, to learn how to save, learn how to invest, learn how to be healthy, learn, you know, they did a lot of things out of survival. And because they went through that, I have more of a foundation to be able to focus on health, fitness, mindfulness, financial literacy. So I'm like, I don't want to drop the ball on that. So it's like a bigger deal for me why I'm starting my, you know, I'm consistent with my YouTube channel and have started a YouTube channel. Let's see. What is the most I've made in 1 week in general or from YouTube? In general, let me actually move up. Oh, wait, does she think I'm leaving? See, now this is, see, like this person, they think I'm leaving, but I'm not. But I actually just want to move up a little bit so I can get, okay, yeah. Because what they'll do is, you might be just trying to get in the spot better, and then they'll try to get in. They'll try to squiggle behind you, and you're like, no, I was just trying to get in my spot a little bit better. Okay, boom. Okay, so yeah. And one from YouTube or just in general? Okay, let's see. I feel bad. We totally screwed up your generation. It's interesting because like we're in the worst situation ever, but we also have the most opportunity to become a millionaire. Like there's more portals open. So it's like, it's what you do with it, you know? But, you know, it is what it is. I recorded a video about an hour ago. Oh my God! You did? Let me know when you did. Let me know when you did and where, and yeah. It's going to be on your YouTube channel, right? Let me know, and I'm going to shout you out. My husband has a crush on you. Same, YouTube is my primary form of entertainment. Jesus is king. I agree. And you are real life beautiful. Thank you so much for the compliments. Yes, DoorDash, DOUGH. So I know I'm late on this. I'm just catching up on all of these. I would not tell Donna even if I knew him. Yeah, my goal is I eventually want to get up to where I'm giving something away every week. Right now, I'm, only able to give something away every month. But I've been trying to hunt that guy down. He signed up and he won, and, he's just not claiming the prize. So I'm actually going to pick somebody else and announce it on Monday. I've never been to Morocco, but it's definitely somewhere I want to visit. I don't understand that language, but thanks for tapping in. Oh, you found her through me? Okay, so I'm the reason why I'm happy to know that is because like I hope that there's other people that are discovering her through me. because I don't know, I just think it's cool. And I just think that she's just such a hidden gem. That's more what it is. She's a hidden gem. Ciana, are you parking ticket? You are fine written all. That's a good one. I like cheesy lines like that. Yeah, growing up poor is something. Yeah, my family from Alabama, Louisiana, most of us have roots from the South. Yep. Yeah, like a lot of Black people migrated like in the late 1800s and early 1900s, and to get a better life. And thank God for that, because there is a different energy with people that are raised in California. There was definitely racism, definitely still is racism, unfortunately, but we didn't have to deal with that, like that real Southern racism, like just that's still even really bad, even in 2024, in some areas deep in the South. So I do consider that a huge blessing. And so like, I'm like, I can't, my great grandfather was hopping trains for him to get to LA for not even knowing that he was preparing a better life for someone he's never going to even meet. I never met my great grandfather. Him hopping those, and ironically, both of them. So my grandfather and my grandmother from my mom, both of the grandfathers, it was like a thing then. Like both of the grandfathers hopped trains. Do you know how to, I was looking at a train the other day, and I was with my mom, and we were looking at the train, and we're like, they really jumped on that while it's moving. Well, I think they probably jumped on it obviously when it wasn't moving, but like just holding on to it. It wasn't like they got to jump on it, go sit down, get them a latte in the little lounge, sit on it. No, they're like holding on to it from all the way from the South through probably rain, heat, no food, right? And then when you're the train is stopping, it's not like, oh, okay, we'll be back in 30 minutes and go get a snack at McDonald's. Like, probably didn't eat that whole time. Like, really, they jumped on trains, and then they did it. They went back. So like, one of my grandfathers came, set up his little nest in LA, and then went and got my great grandmother and brought her back. They didn't. I think he got a train ticket at that point. But himself, he hopped back on a train and went back. And I'm thinking like, like there's like the trains back then, I feel like they were like, they had steam coming off of them. Like he could have got burned. I'm just like, he did all that for little old me, his great granddaughter, to be like doing YouTube. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I just think it's amazing. So I'm like, how can I contribute to my lineage? Like, I know that might be a little extra deep, but that's how I feel about, these opportunities that we have in modern day. I bet you are doing real estate. No, I thought about doing real estate. I might do that in the future on the side, but that was an option for me at some point. But I don't have a desire to like walk people around houses during this season of my life. I might get like Airbnbs or something in the future and do that, but I don't think I have like I don't know, we'll see. But I thought about it, and I just was like, and I know a lot of people, and I'm great at networking, but then I just was like, nah. Maybe in the future. Yes, this is live. Let's see, we have it better than but moral decay and descendants of the society is overwhelming. Yeah, that's true. I would say the worst situation was during the Great Depression. Yeah, definitely. You got girl boss vibes. Thank you, George. But the depression and anxiety level is far worse than ever. That's true. It's like things physically were worse then, but then like the mental health now with like what technology and the internet is doing to humans, like we've never faced that in the entire existence of humanity. We've never had technology like this, so I mean, it just depends. I mean, you can go down the wormhole of like how long humans have really existed and all that, but in general, from what we know, And, there was advanced civilizations, and then we fell, and then we started over again, and all that, if you want to go down the rabbit hole. But as far as we know, we went from living primitively on the land, and then now we have literally walking miniature personal assistants that can tell us whatever we want in 1 second. We can have whatever we want, information at our fingertips in 1 second. We can have food at our front door in 5 minutes. We can have really anything at our front door now in 5 minutes. Anything. I can have someone come do my hair at my house, do my nails. I can call a makeup artist to my house. I technically don't have to drive anywhere if I need a service. George S. rates falling birth rates and high divorce rate along with people just not even getting married. This leads to destruction. That's true. Society is made up of families. It goes from a man, two people, a man and a woman having children. They pair up with another family. Then those two families pair up with two other families. So there's 4. Then those 4 families pair up with 4 other families. That's 8. Then they pair up with, and then you have a whole entire community and society and all that. And yeah, people are a lot. It's just different. I think that with social media giving the false perception that you can have anyone you want in the world at your fingertips, feeling like you have access to people that are not really in your league. Like, that's just the honest truth. This goes for men and women. People were just dating who they were either, through a friend or at work or down the street. And then now there's like a plethora of options. And then there's just so many options that people don't want to pick an option. It's just sad. It's just, I don't know. I just keep praying to God about it. Humans all have wisdom to share. Who cares where they are from? So I recorded the video on my iPhone, and I think I will use the audio, not the video. I may record my computer screen while I create artwork related to topic and play. I love that. Love it, love it, love it. How are you? I'm doing fantastic. I might consider it in the future. I might consider real estate. For me, the goal is to keep doing my day job. Yeah, while building health-related online business and then get into real estate. I love it. I should have done that. Like, I don't regret my path, but if I did have a time machine, I would have started YouTube while I was working at my old job. By the way, I never really tell you guys where I worked before and why I didn't like it that much. Well, I'll give you a hint. I'll give you guys a hint of where I used to work, because I'm like, it's not about bashing that place. It's not. It was my own journey, but there definitely was some amazing things that I learned and skills that I have till this day that is undeniably why I am able to do what I'm doing now. But there was some horrific things that were going on too. And I'll just say that the company that I used to work for many years that I hated, that I just was super depressed on, stress and all that, and gained 30 pounds. The ex-CEO of that company just got arrested. I believe arrested or convicted or it's in the works of trafficking. Okay. For years. Just got arrested. So. And he was the CEO for like 20 years or something, like a very long time. And he just got caught up. And that energy was, I never like knew anyone that was going through that or, wasn't directly involved with that, but that kind of energy was sitting on the company. Like it was like in different ways. I can't even tell you how many times as a manager that I had to help sometimes men and women, mainly women, but sometimes the young men too, draft up harassment cases against other employees because that energy was just all up and through the company. So I just had to get out of there. But I wish I would have like still started YouTube while I was there, because I was making really good money. I was making really good money at a really young age. Company car, I had an Audi, company cell phone, company credit card. I got to stay at hotels for free, free gas card. So not only was like I literally could go anywhere at any time for free. Like I can run up the gas as much as I wanted. Like yeah, it's just, I should have done that, and that would have been cool, and it would have been a way better transition, but I just ended up quitting and doing it the hard, cutthroat way, and that was, when I look back, I'm just like, I can't even believe I did all that. Like the grind that I was on when I quit that job, but I was durable and I got through it. Let's see what else you guys are saying before. I'm gonna probably leave in like 5 minutes. I'm not saying it, but you guys did. I'm not saying the company. I'm not gonna confirm the name, but that's where I worked at for almost 10 years. And yeah. I know who you're talking about. The dude, I mean, ooh, and I met him because I would have to go to home office when I was a district manager, and we would do trainings at the home office, and I met him before, and I've met him in person, and how he looks in person, I see why you're saying that. So I'll just put it like that. I'm trying to live my life right and not talk about people and talk about people's looks, but I'm just going to say I see why you're saying that. Wait a minute. You weren't in charge of the... No. No. The baby oil stuff has nothing to do with who I'm talking about, with the CEO of a popular company. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go, but if you want to just even watch my channel just to hear the DoorDash, what did I call it? The DoorDash case study. If you want to stay on top of the case study with me and dissect this with me over the next month or so, I'm going to have a whole playlist on it. So definitely follow, definitely like. Tap in with my last live. I went live earlier. We dug into some protein powders and talked about health and fitness. We even got into ethnic background and Black history and all that. So if you want to be a part of that and see that, definitely check it out. And that's really it. So have a beautiful rest of your Saturday, and I will talk to you guys hopefully tomorrow. Bye.